Alrighty, y'all. It is still Thursday, February 27th. And where'd I leave off? Speaking of the UFC training, the FBI and the WWE dismantling education. It's not funny. It's not funny. The Special Island Man. The little mini surprise that this turned out to be, because this was supposed to be the chum in the water after this budget thing, right? They got distracted by the complete lie of, hey, we got our no tax on tips and all the Dems voted against it. And it wasn't true. And some of them are still trying to push the lie rather than just check it. Like, you can read the document, but they all went, nope, that's what it is. We have to wrap ourselves up in something. Otherwise, we did all this for nothing. We just traded Granny for no tax on tips. I don't even work a job that takes tips, but I'm really happy this passed, and that's not it. So this was another some chum in the water for them to feast on, to distract them from the fact that the first it's about to roll around. Which, did I say it's my birthday? I think I said that's my birthday. My first is. The first is Saturday. So, like, you know what I'm saying? But, it backfired. It backfired. They tried to make a huge deal of it by inviting their favorite influencers to the White House, because this is how they do it now. That's why they want to save the space of the talk. Okay. And speaking of, whenever I think of the talk and I think of romaine lettuce, yes, I saw Tater Tot coming back to the States, and DeSantis saying he doesn't want Tater Tot guy to be in Florida, which is interesting, but I don't even want to talk about those guys. Like, they don't deserve my time, honestly. Like, just gross. All of them, both of them. Florida, all of it. And sorry, I know the people who are there going, it's not my fault I'm here. I know, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying gross. Of course you would pick Florida. How bad do you have to be for Florida to be like, no thanks. Okay, all right, I had to get, like, my thought back. Okay, so, they invite their favorite influencers and give these binders. There's supposed to be the phase 1 Epstein reveal. Okay, and they make a photo shoot out of it, and they hold it up like they've got it. They've got the goods. Look at them in their pictures, and they're, whoo, and I'm like, wow, like, we really are an idiocracy. Like, they didn't give it to the politicians. They didn't give it to any, like, media outlets. They gave it to a bunch of influencers that they like on TikTok and said, okay, now go make content with it. So they started making content and quickly realized that, or people called it out, or both, that it's shit that's already out. It was already public information, shit we've already had for, like, the last almost 10 years, including the list that we already knew and already had. And yes, I believe the Sench's name is still on there. Again, it's re-released information of what's already out, so I don't think it would have even been advantageous of them to re-release it without his name on, like, the call list or whatever, but it's buried and shuffled in the middle somewhere. It's like, in the middle somewhere you see it. And interestingly enough, like, his name is there, but there's still, like, 2 or 3 others that are redacted. So I'm like, interesting. Okay, anyway, separate, sidetrack. So then the influencers started getting ripped to shreds because people were like, what the fuck is this? This isn't news. This isn't new. The politicians were like, hey, why'd you give it to them? We didn't even get to see a copy, and what we're seeing looks like bullshit. None of this is anything new, all right? You have some of the folks who were mad because they wanted it to be like a reveal of all the Democrats and evil liberals that are like, everything that they thought it was going to be, and they're the same names as before. So not a surprise. Not saying there aren't any folks more affiliated on one side than the other on there, but not a surprise. The same names we've had, okay? Nothing new. So they're all imploding because they really, really needed this to be a win, and it's a dud. So then the Attorney General, because this team is all about accountability and saying, oops, I messed up. They're real good at just accepting that and saying sorry and moving forward, releases a letter because that's the classy way to pass the buck and blame someone else. So she writes a letter of how it's not her fault. It's Cash's fault because she asked him, does he have all the information? And that's what he gave her. And she triple asked him if he was sure that was everything. And he said, yeah, so that's him. Like, wasn't he just confirmed like 2 seconds ago? How is it you're already blaming him for something you were asked to do? How is it his? I mean, this is what they do. This is, I mean, she's making some of y'all look bad. I'm telling you. She came in there and the first thing she did was, it's the brown guy. He fucked it up, not me. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Again, meritocracy, right? This is the team of intelligence and excellence and meritocracy. Oh my God. So yeah, this is like just the respect, no respect at all. No respect at all for any of this junk drawer. For it's illegitimate. I mean, yes, it's scary the amount of power these people have, but like I said, everything they do is like some half-ass coked out. Remember the Wolves of Wall Street? Remember that scene where Leo DiCaprio had taken those old Quaaludes and they hit him way too hard, way too late? Like, it's like that. They're trying to be mean and nasty, and they are. And the Heritage folks are really going to be fucking shit up. But it's all done through like this foggy drug haze of like half-baked ideas. They're like, yeah, let's just deport everyone and let's make commercials about it and make ASMR out of it and keep bragging about how cruel we're being about it and let's really hype that up. And at the end of the day, they end up sucking at it and they're deporting less people a month than the previous administration. Which they called a failure, right? That was half of their whole thing. Oh, the other team's such a failure. Look at everything they allowed to happen. These guys, despite spending substantially more, I mean, we're spending more than $1 million per flight when you think of like all of the costs that go in and not just the flight itself. You've got people living in a hotel in Panama we're paying for, and goodness knows how long that's going to be on or what solution they're going to want to come up with to handle that. And you know how I feel about that. They have, I don't even know the number that they have exponentially increased this effort by just to make it a terror campaign, and all that expense for less result while hiring unqualified bros to go dig through everything while telling the uneducated that, hey, these guys, anyone who says they don't want this, they just want to hide things. They just don't want someone who knows what to look for. Like, these kids aren't from the military. They aren't from the government. They aren't accountants. They're programmers. Half of the people who are defending this also don't like AI, also don't trust the internet. Like, they don't trust the very same technology that they are now defending and being like, but it's fine as long as it's pissing off a dam. Did it make you mad? Did it make you mad that someone who shouldn't be in there is in there? Good. Now you know how we feel when there was a black president. He shouldn't have been in there neither. Like, no, this is not the same thing. There was just someone who was qualified, who won on merit, and I mean, is a politician, not perfect, but didn't do this shit. Y'all threw a fit when he wore a color suit you didn't like. And now you over here going, yeah, we love paying $3 million every time this guy goes golfing. This is exactly what we voted for. This is exactly what we wanted. To take away rights from other people and make sure our God King can go golfing in his diaper. And it's like, okay, at least they're saying it. At least they're saying it. This is exactly what we wanted. No DEI anywhere, just Chads everywhere we see them. All right. Glad you said it. At least you're saying it. I have more respect for the ones that are saying it than the ones that are, don't blame me. I didn't know. Don't give us a hard time just because it's affecting us too. We don't want to hear it. Think about my feelings. My decision is affecting me now. What about us? You especially know how I feel about them. They can kick rocks. We don't want them on this side either. Okay, no flippity floppers. No thank you. Those are the ones that will tell on the resistance as soon as they get their job back. They're like, hey, we'll let you have your job back if you tell us where headquarters is. That bitch just be the first one like, yes, I will draw you a map. Oh, I get a pay cut too? That's fine. I will turn on all the free citizens in order to get my job back for no benefits and a pay cut and higher taxes. I will. That's winning for me. Yeah, that bit. You want to trust that bitch? All right. I'm done rambling for now. Let's see what happens tomorrow.